Let's talk more about the shutdown. If it continues into Monday, the House Speaker says that federal workers will miss their first paycheck on the 15th. Democrats, they are standing firm. They want to fund health care subsidies that are set to expire.
And Republicans say they still won't discuss it or any other policy until the government reopens. Two sides are also differing on pretty different versions of the argument. Democrats say the ACA assistance ending will cause tens of millions of Americans to pay hundreds more in health care premiums. Republicans still insisting the subsidized health care system is broken and must be cut back. Meanwhile, a new threat from the president.
He's now warning that some workers might not get their missing paychecks once the government does reopen, but it doesn't appear to include essential workers like FAA employees. We have team coverage for you tonight. Our Daniel Hamburg is joining us live at Reagan National, where we are watching for travel headaches from the shutdown.
But first, let's get right to Ben Dennis live outside the Capitol. So Ben, is it legal even to withhold back pay?
That is a big question mark that has still not been firmly answered. Tonight, it's even being questioned on Capitol Hill at this very hour. That's because back in 2019, President Trump signed a law after the last long-term shutdown that would grant back pay, ensure it for federal workers who've been furloughed if there was a lapse in federal funding. Democrats are firing back on this very issue as the same chance for federal firings continues.
I think that's whack.
Ask anybody on the streets of Washington about a partisan stalemate on Capitol Hill and expect a mixed bag of responses. Should they be paid for the time off?
I would say 100%.
I don't have anything to say about that.
I actually don't have an opinion on that.
If they're working, they should get paid. If they're not working, then, I feel like they shouldn't get any compensation.
On what would be the start of the work week for federal employees, President Trump threatens no back pay for them during the days-long government shutdown, a move to apparently add pressure on lawmakers.
But for the most part, we're going to take care of our people. There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of.
The decision would be a reversal from a law Mr. Trump signed in 2019, which ensures federal workers receive back pay during any federal funding lapse. Though a new memo from the administration says Congress must provide back pay if they want to in order to fund the government, though the president added he will follow the law.
There are some legal analysts who are saying that may not be appropriate.
That is not only illegal and wrong, but it is something that's sending a signal far and wide about just how much he doesn't care about the American people.
While the two parties continue to fight over a deal to reopen the government, it's those who had no role in shutting it down sitting on pins and needles over pay.
They have no agency in whether the government shuts down or not, and should probably get paid for their jobs that they have.
A lot of Americans do work hard day in and day out, and it's unfortunate that the higher-ups, people who are millionaires and billionaires, are getting a lot of this money and pocketing it for themselves.
Again, the main sticking point right now over the fight to fund the government, and that's Democrats' insistence that they want to extend Obamacare subsidies through the Affordable Care Act that touches so many people across this country in red or blue districts. Republicans continue to say that they will negotiate that very issue. They're willing to do it, but once a short-term funding bill is passed. On Capitol Hill, Ben Dennis, back to you.